Thanks, Allie. And in honor of the royal wedding, Chef Art from Frontier Catering is going to teach us how to make a Gaelic steak. I never even heard of that.
Gaelic tenderloin, very, very popular in Great Britain, New England, Ireland as well. And the reason we selected this, royal wedding, royal folks, royal food, and we'll be able to make something afterwards that's Prince William's favorite dish.
Really?
That's his favorite dish of all time.
Now, this is a Scottish-based dish, correct? Gaelic?
It's Gaelic, it's Scottish, but it's all in that Great Britain area. Scottish, English,
That's right.
Great Britain, Ireland, yes.
All right, we have the recipe and all the ingredients that you need at the side of your screen, so get your pencils out and jot that down, and you're going to tell us a little bit more about some of the stuff that they're going to need.
The dish is quite simple. We're going to use tenderloin. You can use sirloin if you choose. We're just going to add some salt and pepper, some extra virgin olive oil, some fresh butter, never margarine, always butter. It's always better with butter.
That's a lot of butter.
Exactly. Well, we're just going to use a little bit of it.
Okay.
And then we're going to add that to it. So we want to get the oil nice and hot, and then we want to get the butter to get it a nice creamy texture. We're going to sear it. We're going to take it off. We're going to put some Irish whiskey on there. We're going to add a little heavy cream to get it some body. I'm going to add a little brown sauce that I made prior to, which you can use a beef stock if you wish. We're going to let that kind of get all nice and happy in the pan. And we're going to, after the steaks are seared, we're going to pour it over the top. It's going to be awesome. We're going to serve with some vegetables, carrots, peas, and potatoes.
So other than getting the meat, you're going to probably have a lot of the stuff in your kitchen.
Correct. Yeah.
How long?
Does it take?
Yep.
This will probably take at best 10 to 12 minutes.
That's it?
Yeah.
Once you get everything prepped up?
Once you get everything mise en place in place, which is just getting everything in place, get it set up 10, 12 minutes tops.
All right, so we need some Irish whiskey, cream, cheese, mushrooms, onions, chives, parsley, butter,
garlic,
olive oil, garlic,
and brown sauce.
And a good old steak.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll come back and learn more about your catering as well as the recipe. So we hope you stay with us. Allie, you're just starting to prep everything that you need for this. A quick dish, a relatively quick dish.
Very simple, very quick.
All right, now you have initially started with the boiling of the peas, the carrots, and the potatoes. So
all separate, correct. Little salted boiling water. We can get that started while that's cooking. When we come back, we'll be able to show you how fast this is. This is probably a minute and a half at best.
Working mothers love that.
This is exactly why we decided to do it.
Excellent. Tell us about, Chef Art, your business, Frontier Catering.
Well, we've been in the Buffalo area now 23 years, and we're primarily an off-premise caterers, what we do, specialty kind of things. So we do, everything's done, you know, homemade, on-premise, to order, and that's pretty much how we got our claim to fame.
You do events of all sizes for pretty much
any kind of... Yeah, I've done them
of...
as small as 2 people, actually, and I've done them as large as 7,000, and pretty much everything in between, so...
7,000?
Yeah, that was kind of a challenge.
How'd it go?
It went real well. We got paid, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Was it 2-person? Was that a romantic deal?
Not really. It was, maybe afterwards it was, but during it, not romantic at all.
I would figure if somebody's going to cook it for me, that would be romantic enough for me.
Yeah. On the other side of the grill, it was definitely romantic on your side.
Is there something that is this something, a dish that you would prepare for other people?
Oh, absolutely. This is, we're using tenderloin. You can use sirloin or a ribeye type of steak, but the tenderloin I like the best. And what's nice about this dish, why I prefer this particular item, is at the end, if you do have leftovers later on, we're going to show you how to actually parlay this into a phenomenal dish, Prince William's favorite, and there's literally zero waste.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that it's Prince William's favorite. How did you learn that bit of information?
Well, the internet.
The benefits of the internet these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so let's remind people again what kind of ingredients that they need.
Well, I like to use extra virgin olive oil, pure butter, okay? We're going to have a little beef stock, which you can just take fat and flour to make a roux, which then you can incorporate into a little bit of a gravy. So this is the thickening agent.
Okay.
We're going to have some fresh sauteed mushrooms. Again, tenderloin, which we're just going to salt and pepper. And then we have our 2 vegetables and our starch, which is we're going to do a parsley boiled potato, peas, and carrots. And then afterwards, we're going to take the onions and then finish it up with we're going to make mashed potatoes out of those. And I can't tell you the rest of the secret because it's kind of cool.
Excellent. So that's coming up in our next segment. Ellie, back to you. All right. We are busy in the kitchen with Chef Art from Frontier Catering, and we're making Gaelic tenderloin steak today, in case you haven't heard it. All you need to know, all of you mothers, working mothers, it doesn't matter, is it's a quick, easy, delicious dish, correct?
Absolutely. Very simple.
All right, so what you've done so far is you've boiled the vegetables.
Correct.
Carrots, potatoes, peas. You've drained them. You put a little butter in to keep them moist, you said.
Correct.
What next?
Now we're going to do the steak.
That's it,
This is
okay.
the easy part.
All right.
Real simple. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a nice hot pan, which we have here.
Okay.
And we're going to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. We want to get the oil hot. As you can see, it's nice and hot right here.
Because you've been heating up the pan.
I've been heating up the pan. Okay. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to add a little bit of butter to that.
Why the butter?
Well, what the butter does, it adds a smoothness, a creaminess to it that the oil just doesn't. So the oil's going to give you the temperature that you're looking to have, and the butter's going to give you the flavor.
Will it taste different if you just use the olive oil? You want to kind of cut back?
Yeah, you want to. You'll see there's a huge difference if you just use
see the color
olive
even.
oil. Yeah, isn't that nice? See that?
Yeah.
We're just going to add a little salt and pepper. We're just going to do one side. I only like to season one side, and we're going to do that down, and you can hear that sizzle.
And you put the seasoned side down onto the oil.
And you're going to get that sizzle going on. And while that's doing it, okay, I'm going to move this out of the way here.
And I notice you use sea salt. Any particular reason why sea salt?
Sea salt has a little bit more intense flavor. You have to be a little bit more careful with it because you have a tendency to, some people have a tendency to oversalt. So you can actually use just a little bit of it and you'll get the same performance as using more of the other stuff. So.
All right, excellent.
Okay.
All right, so we're searing that.
Yeah, we're going to sear this. It's only going to take a minute. Okay, now we're going to turn it over on the other side.
And you use tenderloin, which is what, the juiciest and the easiest to chew?
Yeah, it's the fillet. It's the Cadillac. It's the king of all steaks, actually.
But you don't have to.
No, you can use a sirloin. You can use a ribeye steak if you like, which is a Delmonico. Cut from the rib.
Okay.
But, that's pretty much it. You want to sear it. Now what we want to do, if you just hand me that plate, we're going to take our wonderful gravity tongs. You've seen these before.
I have not.
Well, see, now grab that. Now I'll turn it upside down. Now grab it again, and it'll open up for you.
Oh, shit. Newfangled thing.
Very high-tech stuff, yeah. Okay, so we're just going to take this off the heat. It's about probably about halfway done. Now we have our pan, and this is where we have the fun. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some Irish whiskey. I happen to have Jameson. Now, if you don't want to use whiskey, because some people have a little bit of offense to it, you can also use a beef stock. And it's always a good thing to do is take the pan away from the flame, because that way, if you're on the flame, you have a tendency for a little bit of flare-up.
So if you don't want to use the whiskey, you just use a beef stock?
You can use a beef stock.
What kind of flavor does the whiskey provide as opposed to the beef stock?
It's a whiskey flavor.
All right, there you go. I can smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it. It's a lot
That's
different.
a morning pick-me-up.
Now, what that'll also do for you is, that's called deglazing. So all those little bits of beef that were on the bottom of the pan are now going to come up. You see that?
Yeah,
so
and you keep the heat on.
Keep the heat right on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little heavy cream. Okay, and what the heavy cream will do is...
Wow.
Look at that. See that?
That's beautiful.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to whisk that. If there happens to be any other crumbs on the bottom of the pan, those will come right up. What you'll find is most restaurants, caterers, chefs, professional chefs, you'll always see them using a stainless steel pan like this. And the reason for that is because you do want the meat to sear. You want those crumbs to get on the pan. You want to be able to deglaze it. That'll give the flavors that come up as opposed to a coated pan. Now, a coated pan's good for eggs, so you can slip and slide. But for normal cooking, you'll see this is the way to go. So you see that starting to thicken up already?
All right, we've got about a minute left, so if we can...
All I have to do is add a little of this. That's all you really need. That's a little beef stock. We're going to add some of our chopped up mushrooms. Yep, they're all good to go. We're going to take that. Finish that in the pan.
Can I just try the sauce?
Yeah.
Excuse my finger. You can taste the whiskey.
Taste the whiskey in it, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you can turn the flame up just a little bit, our beef's basically done.
Am I turning that up?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
And
can we put it in and see what it looks like?
All we got to do now is we put the beef back on for a second or two.
And then you plate it with all the vegetables?
That's all you have to do. Turn it over, get it coated.
All right, I just want to impress everybody with your catering, with Frontier Catering. Tell us about how long it takes you to plate something like this.
Well, when we do weddings, which is basically our main thrust of our business, it'll generally take us somewhere around 4 seconds to put a plate together. So we can generally serve a few hundred people in a very, very small amount of time.
All right, we are now out of time, so we're going to have to try that when we come back.
Great.
And when we come back, though, we're going to tell you about Prince William's favorite dish, using everything here. So back to you, Allie. We're back in the kitchen. I've been spending all the time eating your leftovers here. It's delicious. You're going to turn this Gaelic tenderloin steak into Prince William's favorite dish.
Exactly, his favorite dish. So,
what is it?
This is called cottage pie.
Cottage
which
pie.
is a Great Britain or New England version of shepherd's pie, which most of us are familiar with. Shepherd's pie is made with lamb, and cottage pie is made with beef. You can also substitute this, and you can use ground beef if you wish as well.
All right, how do we do this?
Now watch this. Don't leave your seats. This will take a couple of seconds. What we did was we sautéed, took the extra tenderloin that was left, we chopped it up, we threw it in here, we added a little bit of butter and olive oil again, we threw the leftover mushrooms, we added a little bit of that beef stock that we did. We're going to take our vegetables that we had left over, we're going to add it to it.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to stir that around. We're going to add some fresh parsley.
Okay.
And we're done.
That's
it? That's it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it, we're going to bring it over to our casserole dish, which I had here. Oop. Got most of it in there. Okay.
Can't waste it.
Don't waste it.
Catching myself on fire.
Okay, turn that off. I took our potatoes that were left over. We made mashed potatoes. All we're going to do now is we're just going to get a little.
All right, so we cover that up, and then you put it in the oven with or without the cheese?
I put it in the oven for about 10 minutes without the cheese, and then finish it with the cheese on the top. And then, of course, this is our final product, which we did earlier. And that's what it's going to look like.
All right, excuse me. All of us here, I have to try this.
And that's 100% leftovers. There's nothing we added to this.
And it was so easy.
It's so simple. It's hot. Be careful.
Very hot.
We advertise hot food, and we will serve hot food.
Oh my God, that's delicious. That was worth it.
This is something that and if you're going to a neighbor's house or going to a relative's house, you can make this, wrap it up in a little bit of foil, and then put some newspaper around it, put it in your car. By the time you get here, it'll still just be as hot.
Maybe you could nab a prince, too. Ellie, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Victoria. I'm actually coming over to you.
All right, come on down.
Try this. It looks so good.
It's hot. Here, you can use it.
Thank you. I don't mind sharing.
It's very hot.
Okay, I want to try a little bit.
All right, we have a lot more coming up tomorrow. We've had a lot of fun today. Chef Art from Frontier Catering, thank you so much for these great ideas. Tomorrow on Winging It, we are going to be talking about a lot, including Kate Middleton. Her hair, everybody's speculating on how she's going to have her hair. We're going to have a hairstylist here to give us some ideas.
Yes, and we are also going to be talking to Keanu Reeves' stand-in from Henry's Crime. So join us tomorrow and see all of that. I'm going to eat some more food.
That's delicious.
Enjoy. Isn't that good?